one of the things that's coming up that I think is quite interesting that we're working on is looking at how we can help support teachers to structure materials in more formal, active ways that lets you reuse the content, resequence learning objects. So rather than just saying this learning object relates to that learning object, or this learning object comes after that one, and simple things like that, we're looking at a much more complex and rich system using a system called Learning Design. It's an IMS international standard, so hopefully it'll be an interoperable system that lots of different people will be able to work together with. We're hoping that the support that the structure will give them will help them also concentrate about the learning in the full traditional sense, rather than it being about the fun things you can do in terms of reusability and learning objects, but that by concentrating on, if you get the formal structure right for your learning material, that actually will help your students, because you'll have thought about what sort of activities the students will be doing, where they'll have come from, where they'll be going, and you can really focus on what's happening about the learning, and you can use the technical tools as a support for that rather than as this add-on extra. And that's something that we're quite keen to do, that the technology should always support and enable rather than be this extra layer on top that stops people from doing things or is an extra burden. And another thing that should be coming off in the next little while is we're working on a big project called Mobilearn that's looking at mobile technologies. And we've got a range of scenarios that we're developing, and they're developing a very large system with a lot of people like Nokia and people who want to make money by selling bandwidth and making people use their mobile devices a lot more. But what we're interested in is what sorts of activities people can do with that really helps their learning. So we've got a number of scenarios, using them in a traditional blended learning environment, so within formal learning, but also more adventitious informal learning when you're, say, walking around a museum and you see something that you like and you want to know a little bit more about that. Your device can know where you are and know that, and you say, I'm a bit more interested in this, and also your device might know a little bit more about your background and where you've come from. We can give you some really interesting and appropriate stuff. And we're hoping that the trials of that will happen soon, and we'll get real working system and get some real data to find out how those are working in practice. So it should be good stuff.
That's interesting. So you're saying that, in fact, it might know that you're an academic who's a specialist in this domain,
sure,
or you're a school child who is in the 5th grade or something. And
and it can give you material that's appropriate to the level that you've got, and the sort of dream goal will be a system that connects up to almost every learning object repository there is, and can find something that's most appropriate for you and for your background and from where you happen to be at the moment. And that's something that you can get from a mobile device that you can't get from more fixed installations, because if you're at a fixed installation, all you know is that someone has come to this fixed place, their home desktop machine or something in a computer lab that you've set up in your university or whatever. But if you've got a mobile device and you know someone's in a museum, you know they're there, you know that's a little bit of context that you can use to help mediate this large world of information, help them orient it. And that's one of the things that's very difficult with small devices, is orienting yourself in the world of information. If you can help the person using the device by using what you know about their context to get focused stuff to them, that can really help them mediate their way through what you're hoping to get to them. But it also means, as a teacher, you have to be a bit more relaxed about what you're teaching, because you can't, in a formal learning system, you can say, right, you must turn up on this date to this, or you must do this assignment, and here's some resources to help you if you're being laid back about it. But with this sort of idea about learning, it's much more flexible, much more informal, and you can't guarantee that anyone will ever learn anything from what you're doing. But if it's the right stuff, then maybe you've got the opportunity to latch into really informal learning at a point that really makes a difference to people. So I think it's quite an exciting development. And as I'm saying, we're getting close to the stage where we can actually try this stuff out for real with people and actually get some data about how people use it for real. So that should be
So what sort of subject are you focusing on?
We're working in a range of subjects. We've got there's the museums one, which we're working with people who've got some links to the Uffizi Gallery in Italy. So that's more art history, that sort of domain. We've got another one that's looking at health-related scenarios and first aiders and that sort of thing. And we've got another domain that escapes my mind at the moment, but it may be engineering, I can't remember. But we've tried to pick different subject domains as an example, rather than being something where there's a particular driver from the subject.